All right, here we go with the notes. These are polynomial inequalities. This should be a review. Okay, so given a polynomial function f of x, a polynomial inequality has the general form f of x is greater than 0, f of x is greater than or equal to 0, f of x cannot equal 0, it's less than 0, or it's less than or equal to 0. So f of x is greater than 0 is true if f of x is positive. F of x is less than 0 is true when f of x is negative. Okay, so it says, look at the function x to the fourth plus 3x cubed minus x squared minus 3x graph below. So we have this graph here. And it says, name all the intervals for which f of x is greater than 0. Okay, so where is it greater? Where's y greater than 0? Okay, so we have negative infinity, right, 2 here to negative 3. It's greater than 0 there. And then we have this little part right here, negative 1 to 0. F of x is greater than 0. And then we have right here, which looks like it's 1 to infinity. Easy peasy.
I was just concerned about what you listened to.
Okay, now it says name all intervals for which f of x is less than 0. So where is y less than 0? Well, right here it is. So we go from negative 3 to negative 1, because this is all less than 0. And then this is less than 0 here. So from 0 to 1. Yep. Y'all been out for a while. Okay, does everybody have this? Can we move this thing up?
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. So it says steps to solve a polynomial inequality. Move all the terms to one side of the inequality so zeros on the other side. Completely factor the polynomial to find the zeros. Plot the zeros on a number line. Choose test points in each interval. Substitute test points in the function. Determine whether interval is positive or negative. Write the solution using interval notation. Use parentheses and brackets where necessary. Okay, so move that up. Let's look at number 1. Oh my gosh, my water's in the way. All right. So number 1 says x squared plus 5x minus 6 is greater than 0. Okay, so they already have one side 0 here. They already did that for us. So now step 2, factor the polynomial completely. All right, so now we're going to factor it. So we factor this to get x plus 6 and x minus 1 is greater than 0.
Why is there?
Next step, plot the zeros on a number line. So here's our number line down here. So this is where our zeros are.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Why is there a -7?
Test subjects.
Can it be like any number?
Yes.
That's wrong.
So now we're on step 4. It says choose test points in each interval. Substitute the test points into the function to determine whether interval is positive or negative. So, and look, we have, before we do that, we have open circles because it is greater than right here. No or equal to. Okay, so we're going to choose -7. So we're going to substitute it in. So we get -1 times -8. So that's +8 is greater than 0. So that one checks out. So this is an interval that would work, -infinity to -6. And here, now we got to plug in 1 here in the middle. So we have 0. So we have 0 plus 6 times 0 minus 1. So we have -6 is greater than 0. That is not true. And then we plugged in 1 over here. We plugged in 2. 2 plus 6 times 2 minus 1 is greater than 0. So 8 is greater than 0. That one works. So here we have -infinity to -6 and 1 to infinity and our union sign. So it's this and this, but not what's in the middle. Yes? Let's try number 2. All right. Number 2 says 2x squared minus x minus 15 is less than 0. All right, so factor completely. It's already set up to 0, so they did step 1 for you. So now we're factoring completely. So our zeros are -5/2 and 3. So when we come down here and plot them on the number line, we have -5/2 and +3. Open circles because it's less than or greater than, not less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to.
Wait, Mr. For
Huh?
for the one with the 4, wouldn't that, the 4, where it says 4 plus 5, wouldn't that one be like 8? Because aren't you putting the 4 in for the x? Because there's a 2. It's 2x plus 5. And then if you put in a 4 for the x, it might be 8.
Oh, yeah, it would. Yes, it would. +1 for the mistake. Yes, of course.
Okay, where did you get -3, 0, and 4?
You just pick some. So look, we have to pick an interval that's over here, right? So here we've got -3.
So you just rounded, because you picked like -8.
Yeah. It's obviously easier to pick small numbers because the mathy is smaller. So here we have,
Can we just do 1?
Yeah.
For everything?
no,
Or like for the intervals?
for the one in between here, the one in the middle, you could do 1. So here we have -3. If we plug that in, we have -6 plus 5, so that's -1 times -6. So we have +6 is less than 0, not true. So here, when we plug in 0, that one works out. And over here, it isn't this, it would be 8. So we would have 8 plus 5, which is 13, times 4 minus 3, which is 1. Let me go ahead and change that. Okay, it would still be greater than 0. So this would be, what did I say, 13 is less than 0, so that is not 1. So our actual intervals are going to be what's in the middle here. That works, not on the outside. So just -5/2 to 3. All right.
No, wait, I want
Okay.
uh,
Not a problem.
uh, uh, This is really not new, right? I'm so glad that seniors don't have to go sleep all day.
Or Friday.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are off Friday too?
All day for prom.
Did you say not show up?
Pretty much.
Where's the phone at?
Where is prom?
It's
Anybody
at,
know?
like, a country club.
Oh, that'll be fun. All right, we all have this?
Yeah.
Next page.
There you go. I'm debating it.
All right, let's look at this one. Okay, so here we have x to the 4th minus 26x squared plus 25 is greater than or equal to 0. So now we're going to throw in a greater than or equal to. So now we need to use some different looking brackets, and our circles are going to be closed. Okay? So let's factor completely. So we get all of this. +5, -5, +1, -1. Here's your zeros. So plot all 4 zeros on a number line. Okay, step 2, that was completely factor. Step 3, plot the zeros on a number line. Step 4, choose test points. So let's start here. Choose test point -6. Plug it in
-6 times 4, or is that to like the fourth?
to the fourth. So you're gonna, when you plug it in, make sure you go up to the original.
Oh,
So you're gonna have -6 to the fourth minus 26x times -6 squared plus 25. Is it greater than or equal to 0?
So you pointed to the top equation?
Yep,
Okay.
to check it. Yes, it
it's
is.
easy, but like a lot of work. I feel like we've done
Yes,
it,
you have.
like in this class.
No. Did you take college algebra? Yes, you did it there.
I
No?
don't remember anything from college.
Oh, no.
algebra.
Okay, so
I feel like
now,
class was a fever for me.
right here, between these two, we did -2. So plug that in, it doesn't work.
Let's see how's that
The next one right here chose 0. Even though it's greater than or equal to up here, please do not choose one of your zeros to be the points, okay? Pick something in the middle. All right, so when you plug 0 in, that works. So that one is checked. And
Wow.
right here, when we plug in one of the numbers, 2, that one does not work.
I mean, I don't mind it. I just.
And then this one works over here. So we have a parenthesis on the end because it's negative infinity. And that goes to -5. Then we have a bracket because it is closed.
Close the gate.
Mm-hmm. Stopping there.
I wonder how she's doing. She's probably. I know, so I was like.
Then we have a union, which means also including this, 2 brackets, because we are greater and less than equal to. Then we have another bracket for 5 and a parenthesis to infinity.
It was.
All right, all good? Let's look at 4.
Hey man, do some.
All right,
Awesome.
here on 4, we have a cubed, 4x cubed minus 28x squared minus x plus 7. Factor completely. So our zeros are -1/2, +1/2, and 7. So plot those down here, and it's greater than. So open circles.
Our number.
Oh, no, really? What does your number 4 say? Oh, okay, skip. How about 5?
It's just,
5 is the same? Okay,
yeah, like it's wrong. It's like ours says less than. Ours, mine's the same.
For number 5.
Mine says less than 4.
are you on the homework?
Oh, I looked below. Sorry.
Okay.
But like.
We're good. We can do number 5.
All right.
That is.
Yeah.
All right, so for number 5, we do have to move this 4x over to the other side for step 1 to get it set up to be less than or equal to 0. Step 2, factor completely. So here we have no C terms, so we can pull out an x and then factor. So your zeros are -1/3 from here, 0 from this x, and 4 from right here. So plot these on the number line for step 3. So we have -1/3, we have 0, and we have 4. This is a good example because we do have to pick something that goes here in between these. All right, so for the first one, for right here, use -1, plug -1 in, and that works.
Is your ear ever just like get numb and like you keep
On the
breathing out?
inside?
Yeah. I don't
Wait,
know.
why'd you think
So it has to be in between -1/3 and 0. We have to have something in between these two. So -0.5, -0.25 works. And here we get 17/64 is less than 0, which is not true, so it doesn't work here. When we plug in 1 from this one, 1 works. And then over here, when we plug in 5, 5 does not work. So our answer is going to include this one right here and this one right here, and not this small one and not anything over here. So we have parentheses because it's less than -infinity to 1/3, also including union 0 to 4. Okay,
Oh.
let's look at 6.
Let's write that down.
That's a lot.
I feel like we get
I think we got it. Yeah.
Honestly,
I know
feel
what
like
to
we
do.
understand.
Okay, so let's do one that's not like this then, okay? Look at 7.
Whoa. Whoa.
I did not know you listened to
Okay, so
I can't imagine.
you can do a few things here. You can look at your possible zeros. Remember how to do that? We take our factors of 16 over our factors of your leading coefficient. Remember all that? Then you can choose one of them and use synthetic division. And if you get 0, that's a factor. So x minus 1 would be a factor. Then all you have to do is factor what's left for x squared minus 8x plus 16. So that's one way to solve this one, and then to find your zeros to be +4 and 1. So another way to do it would be to attempt to factor by grouping. I haven't tried it for this, so I don't know if it works or not. On some of them, it might work. That might save you a bit of time. Okay, so once you know that your zeros are 1 and 4, do we all remember how to do this and to get this? Yes, okay. Plot them on the number line, and it is greater than or equal to, so we're going to have closed circles for 1 and 4. So we have to have something over here. So use 0, because that tends to be less math. So here we have -16 is greater than or equal to 0, and that is not true, obviously. And then here in the middle, we can plug in 2. Solve this one. You get 4 is greater than or equal to 0. That one is true. And then for this top part, plug in 5. You get 4 is greater than or equal to 0. That one is true. So your answer is going to go from 1 to infinity.
Ours is just greater than.
Oh, really? Go ahead and put the equal to sign under it. And let's solve this one as a greater than or equal to.
I mean, it's still the same thing. Just with open circles.
Yeah, you would have to, yeah, you would have to put a parentheses here instead. Okay, so what if you have fraction zeros? Okay, so look at the next one.
Do you like wake up and die? Yes, I don't. What do you do? I just like go into a different perspective and then watch everything happen.
All right, look at this one. So you can try to factor by grouping, or you can pull out your possible zeros, pick one, see if it's a factor.
What's it called? Carpal tunnel syndrome?
No, that's in your wrists.
Is it carpal tunnel? Carpal tunnel's in your hands.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get
From writing all this stuff. So then you can factor here, and you end up with your actual zeros of -3/2, 1, and 7.
If I went into I just be dreaming for the rest of my life. My dreams are so off. I have nightmares.
Oh my
I have
goodness,
nightmares
guys.
all the time, but, like, I love my dreams. My subconscious
All right, so plot your -3/2, 1, and 7.
Sounds like fun.
it's like an evil dream.
I would never want to go to sleep. That is that's my dream.
Wow.
I have like nightmares every time. Miss Farrah, do you dream?
Mhm.
Like, that's why I stay up all night.
I'm too tired to vividly dream. I just sleep.
Do you dream in
I don't want to be so tired all the time.
Yeah,
Go to sleep,
no.
you hear stuff all the time.
Mhm.
Some people say
Terrifying.
they dream black and white. I had one dream that I jumped into like old TV and it turned black and white. I've had dreams in Spanish.
All right, is that it? I don't know. Actually, the bells have been wacko today. Let's see. 12:05? No, we still have 5 more minutes.
No, no, no.
Okay, do we all have this one down? So now you have 2 examples where you have to use synthetic, and you have 3 examples of doing it the other way. Yes? Does everybody have this? Okay, so I'm going to leave this here for just another second while we talk about it. Okay, so on the video for Thursday, since I will see none of you tomorrow, the video, we now only have to do part 2 because we have done part 1. So you can do page 1. You can do page 1 of the homework, whatever you want.
Is it make you upset if I throw them
It does
away?
not.
Okay. I really pissed off this bird by you.
Oh, oh no.
Like I used to be the favorite.
And now you're not because you threw away your work.
She handed me a paper